The next card is mostly together. I wanted to show adding this double bow. I made this double bow using my bow tire, and I do have a video on that which I will link below. And I'm just going to add a piece of tape, and I want it close to down at the bottom and the edge, because that is where my sentiment is going to go down here, and I'll show you how I'm going to put that all together. Now to tie the bow, I needed a lot of extra ribbon to get it in the right spot, so I'll just cut that excess off and add this with the tape. And I'm just going to make sure that that's on there exactly where I want it. And then this piece is going to come over top. I have die cut the word celebrate again with the stick-it tape and this gold paper. And I really love this gold paper. It just comes off like a sticker like that. I just need to get the little pieces in the word, the little parts in the B and the E and the L out. And then once I get those little pieces out, I can add this to the black mat. Once I have all those little pieces out of those little spots, I can now bring this in and get this centered onto this black mat. And once I've got that on there, I'm definitely going to use my bone folder again to really press this on. I want to make sure that none of those letters come up, and I've got that on there nice. Before I add my sentiment, I would like to round these corners just a little bit, and I'll do that with this little corner rounder. And once I've done that, now I can come in and I can add my piece of foam to the back. Just going to have to go in and just make sure that where I rounded those corners, we don't see the foam in behind. Got that all together, and I'm going to add my sentiment now. I've got the adhesive on the back of the sentiment now, and I'm just going to put this down on here. I've added my sentiment on the foam here, and you can see the dimension there. And just to finish off this particular card, I'm going to add these 3 gold bling into the corner. I really love all the gold on this card. I thought about putting extra bling on all the little flourish ends like I did the first card, but I think that really looks good. And I really like how this could be used as a birthday card, a wedding card, basically anything that you're celebrating. For the last card, I'm going to do a bit of a glitter card, and I've got some score tape here in the big roll. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to take this and I'm going to stick this right into the corner of this mat. And I'm just going to put this adhesive all on this mat. And I'm just going to flip this over and cut off the excess, and this will all be known very shortly what I'm doing. Basically, I'm putting the adhesive down so that I can add glitter to the cardstock. When I put the frame down, I'm going to be able to see the glitter that's going to be stuck to this adhesive in behind. And in the meantime, what I've done is I've used this as a guide, and I've marked where it will be so I don't have to put adhesive past a certain point. I'm just going to bring my bone folder in and now just press this on here really well. And I'm going to take the backing off. Now it's going to be super sticky, and I just have a little bit of more to go, and I'm just going to adhere this. This is going to go slightly over where I've already gone, and I'm just going to pull it in behind and cut the excess off here as well. Now I'm going to pull this backing off, And eventually this is going to go over top like this, either the white or black, I haven't decided yet. And I'm going to add some glitter. Now it's really important that you use super fine glitter. If you use some of the chunkier stuff, it just might not look as good and it might not settle down onto that adhesive as well. So I just have to decide what color I want. I have some gold cards already, maybe some silver or copper, or maybe a mix. So I'm going to go over to the silver now here, and I'm just going to start dumping some of the silver onto this adhesive. And I can use quite a lot and then just keep my extra and dump it back into my container. And I'm just going to do a bit of a diagonal here, and then I'm just going to tap off the extra. And I can see that there's still a little bit of space along that edge, so I'm just going to dump a little bit more, and I'm just going to flick this off like this. Now I'm just going to quickly clean this up. I've cleaned that up, and now I'm just gonna push this glitter back into this hole. Sometimes it gets a little messy there, and I'm gonna go to another color. I've got the silver, I see some white here, and I also see some charcoal. I'm trying to figure out which color I'd like in the middle. Maybe this copper here, and again I'm going to dump this again nice and a good amount. And I'm just going to dump this copper going into a diagonal, and then I'm going to tap off the extra again. And as you can see, it kind of looks messy, but it's going to look really great once we have this card complete. I'm going to choose this charcoal just to add some of this darker color on, and yes, it is quite a bit darker than the silver. I'm just going to aim for this corner that has no glitter in it, and I'm going to tap that off. And as you can see, it doesn't look overly exciting, but that's okay, because once we get this on here, we'll be able to see that glitter through the window. Now that that glitter is all put away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to push this glitter into this adhesive. Now I want to make sure that it doesn't come off and doesn't move around. So by doing this just helps make it stick just a little bit better, and hopefully less will come off. I'm just going to tap the excess off and clean up quickly. I've got that piece on there, and I think I'm going to use the black. As you can see, the black looks a little bit better maybe than the white. I guess they both look okay, but I think I really like the black in this case. So now I'm going to adhere down this black piece onto this glitter. There I can place this piece down, and I've made it a little bit smaller so that I can have a border around the glitz. I think that looks pretty good where it is. And now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to really press in to all these little spots that I added the adhesive. I'm going to pull up a little bit of glitter, but that's okay, we clean it off at the end. We're just going to make sure that this is on here really, really well. I'm going to tap off again this excess glitter. Now all I need to do is just trim off this excess with my trimmer. I'm going to use some of this copper cardstock now, and I'm going to place this with the glitter on top of that to give us a little bit of that border in the copper color, which will match the glitter we've used on the design in the window. And I figure this will be a nice backdrop off of this card, considering there is copper in the middle. And I really like how this is coming about here. I'm just going to push this all in. There's still a little bit of glitter loose, and that's okay. And I will add this whole piece and we'll take a look at how it looks like at the end. At the adhesive off, and I'm going to add this now, and this is really pretty. This might be my favorite of all the cards. I just love using the glitter like this. And for most people, they already have a score tape or adhesive like that they can make this happen. And look at that, that is gorgeous. For this, I just made a stencil using the die cut, and this is now on mask paper, and I can just put this down. And again, with all these little pieces, I've got to really be careful when I push this down, because you really want to make sure this sticks properly when you're going to use it as a mask. And maybe I'll just use my bone folder and gently go across here. There's this little piece just sticking out there. And now that one is down. And once all of this is down nicely, then I can do my distress technique over top. And again, I'm going to bring the two colors that I used last time, this being peacock colors, and I'm just going to gently go over top. And this is now, by die cutting it like this, this is going to be used as a mask. When you do this, it's not as strong as a stencil, so you just want to be really careful. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to go in with my blue now. I'm going to go out from the part of the mask here on the outside. That way I can get the strongest part first, and then I'll kind of pounce in some of the color as I go into the middle. With a stencil, you can get a lot smoother blending, but this is a way we could use this die a little bit differently by using it as a mask, and it's virtually a stencil. So I've almost got the color put on here. I just want to put a little bit more on here, and I'm going to gently pull this off, and I'm going to have to go from the other corner because that one is stuck there. Again, all these little pieces are a little bit difficult to work with, but as you can see there, that's what I got. Now I could go in or maybe add different pieces on top. So I really like that idea as well, using the dies to make basically masks or as stencils. So I'm just going to go through quick all the cards that I did. This was the first one here. And love having these little gems on here, just these little bling on here, just to add a little something to that card. We also made this one here as well, and this one here was up on foam, so to give that really great dimension. We also made this one here, and then I did this one here, which was probably the most work out of all the cards, piecing all of these pieces. Really like how this one looks. And of course this one here with the gold and the frame all the way around it, really like that one as well. This one, just love the colors, love using distress ink. Again, I will finish up this card eventually, but just to kind of give you an idea of the idea behind that one. This one using a lot of gold elements, these bows, and again the sentiments here and the bling, really like that one as well. This one here is dry now with the sequins, and I'll eventually add a sentiment to this one as well. And then of course lastly the glitter card, really like that. Again, you can mix up all the colors in the glitter that you're using, and this one will be different pretty much every time if you have different glitters. And then lastly we did this one here where we used the die and made a mask out of it and basically stenciled the flourish onto this card base. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There was a lot of cards in this video, but I kind of wanted to give some different ideas. Some are very, very similar, but I think that's just because of the way the die is. I really like some of these. Some of these are really beautiful. Love these distress inks here. And this one here with the glitter probably is my favorite. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can check me out on my website at Kellyscards.ca. You can subscribe for more videos, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.